the other, all state governments across the country are now looking at how do we mainstream the idea of digital into classrooms as the new academic year comes, right? I think broadly there are two kinds of, I would say, decision points here. The first one is around how do we really prepare the system for embracing digital, right? And this consists of two further components, which is one is making sure that you have a certain hardware setup across your state, and the second is making sure that there is connectivity. Right now, what do I mean by hardware? Look, at the end of the day, many teachers have gone ahead and started showing videos to students on the basis on from their own mobile phones, or some teachers who had access to tablets, etc., through various government schemes, or even their own tablets or laptops. They've been using them extensively. At the same time, there is a need to take stock of what kind of hardware support do our schools and our educators need to be able to administer digital content within the classroom, to be able to engage students in an interesting and engaging manner. And hardware could take different forms depending on the kind of digital model you want to adopt. For example, it could be a simple provision of a smartphone or a tablet to a teacher inside a class. It could be a standard projector with screen and speaker set. It could be one of those portable projectors also, given if there are certain select schools that have access to a laptop or computer. In like for example, Madhya Pradesh has this scheme where they have budgets for building ICT labs in schools, right? So the first thing that states need to do is map out what is their hardware requirement, whether they maybe want to choose a pilot set of schools to pioneer digital in first, and then do a mapping of supply versus demand of digital, right? That's the hardware side. On the connectivity front, assume you have procured the hardware. Now, that hardware means nothing if you are not able to relay the content from point A to point B. And again, there are very different ways to really solve the connectivity problem. One could be that you provide broadband connections or 4G dongles in areas where there is no connectivity. Second could be that you completely negate the internet problem and give pen drive hardcore, pen drive or some kind of local storage drives. But there again, state departments have to go and take permissions from various content providers whose content they are using, because typically content providers are more amenable to share their online links of their content versus the giving it in offline form, because at least in online form the views and the link usage gets attributable to their YouTube channels, etc. This is another insight we've seen. And then finally, one method of solving the connectivity problem would be if state governments could get in touch with these various private networks and develop some kind of zero rating microsite, right? Where you click on a website and you don't need to use any data to access that website. That cost is borne by the provider itself. And there are use cases of Airtel doing this in Rwanda or Nigeria, some other countries, some developing countries. So this is just another thing that can be explored to solve the connectivity problem. So once you look at the hardware problem, once you look at the connectivity problem and assume that by doing a survey and mapping and then provisioning budget for connectivity and hardware, we are able to solve that. The final problem or the final challenge, I would say, before we can start digital learning in classrooms is figuring out what is going to be the learning model itself, right? Is the idea that we are now just going to provide everything to the teacher in a digital format and then let the teacher decide whether they want a digital video to accompany some kind of textbook teaching, whether they want some kind of digital assessment to be taken, some sort of summative data census across the state, or the other element here is that you can let the teacher continue that chapter that they or at the pace that they were teaching, and you can do some kind of centralized digital sendouts that will act as behavioral nudges across the entire state. For example, if the state wants to promote socio-emotional learning and teachers are not taking it up proactively, then the state could potentially choose to send out every week one video on socio-emotional learning that the teacher is instructed to show students. Or we could do some kind of data analysis basis NAS 2017 or the latest NAS that Niti Aayog conducted, and identify low performing competencies for each state and send out remedial content on specifically those competencies each week. I think the key lens to adopt here would be that while we definitely want to send some supportive material centrally from the state, at the same time, you don't want to take away empowerment from the teacher to decide what is best for their students in that moment. So that balancing of centralization and decentralization, I think, will be the third key issue that states will have to grapple with. So I think these three steps are almost prerequisites, and these things that governments need to think about quite carefully before they can usher into a mainstream digital environment in schools.